Hi friends, it's Lisa. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something different. It is Mystery Monday, where I roll this wheel that's filled with all these different options and we make a card or a project out of whatever it says. Today we got holographic paper. Now, I apologize. I had a lot of technical difficulties. I filmed me rolling and it did not film right. So I was like, oh, I'll just re-roll it again. And I re-rolled it about 20 times and never got the holographic paper because I already made the card before I realized I didn't have that. Anyway, so I'm just showing you all the different holographic paper that I have in my stash. I have the first couple came from a pack from Simon Says Stamp. Then I had that really cool acetate that had some holographic on it. And then I had some Crafter's Companion holographic paper. Now, the Crafter's Companion I have a ton of, so I was like, I'll go ahead and do that because I have no idea if what I'm going to do is going to look any good, so I won't feel like I'm wasting anything if I make a huge mistake. So then I was like, what should I do with this? I looked through my paper stash and just grabbed out any papers that, as I was looking at the holographic paper, like the rainbow colors that I could see, I picked any colors like that. And I decided, you know what? I'll just cut out a bunch of foliage. So I got my foliage dies out and I stamped out each foliage die like twice from each paper. So you don't see it because it's all off camera, but I die cut out so much foliage. So we're only going to use a little bit. I could definitely have made 4 or 5 more cards. But first things first, I decided my base cardstock was going to be this matte mirror blue cardstock from Tonic Studio. I don't know why, but this paper is like amazing to me. Something about it is just like, yes, Lisa, this is the cardstock. So I was like, oh, this will be perfect. You do see that dark blue color in the holographic paper. So I was like, I'll use this as a base. I personally find holographic paper a little much to look at when it's the only thing there. So that's why I used it sparingly. So I die cut out that background from the blue cardstock. It is a Crafter's Companion die. They have a special name for it. I forget what it is. I'm going to be honest with you. But really, any background die is going to work. So just go ahead and do that. Use what you've got. I'm not a big fan. I will tell you if it's something specific I really think you need. This I just pulled out of my stash. Just like the dies that I use to cut out all the little foliage. Use what you have. If you're wanting to recreate this or take some inspiration, use what you have. There are a lot of people on YouTube and it's their job, so like them telling you to buy new stuff is part of like how they get paid. I don't get paid by like that, so I'm going to be honest, like you don't need everything that I have and I don't need everything that you have. Just use what works with what you have fun. So I was really trying to figure out what to do next, and I had this little leftover piece from something I made a long time ago. I'll link to it at the end of the video. And I was like, oh, I'll use this. It looks perfect. It looked a lot better in person. The holographic paper doesn't show up very well on the video. And so it looked really good in person. It looked perfect. And so I was like, oh, I'll just add some foam tape and then start gluing around the edges all of these botanical things that I created, die cuts. Well, once I added everything, it looked really not good. So I end up covering those purple flowers, which is a little sad because they're so pretty and they would have worked perfectly on a card on their own. But it did give me the inspiration I needed to finish this card. So what can you say? So I just tried to make sure that I didn't have the same color next to each other around the edge, and I didn't have the same die cut shape around the next to each other around the edge. Then I took some more of the holographic paper, trimmed it to exactly the size of the purple flower, and glued it down. I should have put the holographic through my Xyron machine because you could definitely see the glue through it, but I ended up covering up most of it with the dark blue because, like I said, too much holographic is too much holographic. So gluing that down, and I'm going to do almost the exact same thing with the next card. I just used a little bit smaller of a piece this time because I had, from the way I'd cut those cards, that's what I had left. And I didn't want to cut into 2 whole new card stocks. I figured this would be perfect as is. I could just make the foliage go out a little bit further. So put some foam tape. And the foam tape I'm using is from scrapbook.com. I really like their foam tape. It's not too expensive and you can get it in a lot of sizes. So I used like the 2-inch on one side and then filled it in with some of the strips, the foam strips, which the foam strips are amazing. I would 100% say you should get some of those because they're amazing. And I filled up the side of that. I could have made at least 4 more cards just like this with all the supplies that I had. I ended up giving both of these cards to one to my father and one to my grandfather because I thought that they're very fun and happy cards, but they're not specifically feminine either. There's so many florals out in the industry, like so many floral dies, so many floral stamps. I feel uncomfortable giving florals to men. It's kind of like, I don't know how to put it, but just, it makes me feel uncomfortable to give my dad like a flower. Although my dad would probably appreciate it because he likes to garden and stuff, but like a man who isn't in your family, giving him a flower card to me feels like you're saying something that maybe you don't want to be saying. And so I liked this because it's fun and happy and exciting, and it doesn't say, I like you, it says, I like you. Anyway, here we're going. I die cut this happy birthday die. It has the shadow layer, so for the shadow layer, I use the holographic paper. For the word layer, I used the blue paper, Tonic Studios. And then there was some free space on that edge, so I decided to take one die cut and put it there as kind of a statement. On the other one, I went with a green die cut, which I think looks really cute. So, there, I've put that through the Xyron machine, and I just was making sure that none of the adhesive was going to come out over the side. If you put the paper through the Xyron and then die cut, you don't have that issue. If you die cut and then put the die cut through the adhesive, you sometimes get a little on the outside. So here are some pictures of the cards. I hope you enjoyed today. Next week you will see the little tick, 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 tick spin of the wheel. I'm gonna go and film that here in just a few minutes. If you did enjoy, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like and the bell icon. As well, we have a Mighty Network, which is like a Facebook group. It's completely free. It's just not on Facebook, so it's 100% just that group. A lot easier to navigate than the Facebook groups. So come and join us. The link is below. Have an absolutely wonderful crafty day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.